There was much singing and a lot of laughter, but beyond and within the echoes of the laughter and the singing, and beyond and within the light that love gave, there was darkness and sorrow and death. This then is Ireland, Ireland of the Dublin tenements, in the time of the hateful civil war, when those who had fought so long together as comrades became bitter enemies, and Irishmen again tore the chords of Ireland's heart to sing.
On a little by road, out beyond the Faithless, he was found. Isn't he come in yet? No matter. Oh, well, he'll come in when he likes, I suppose, strutting all about the town with joxer like a Paycock. I hear all about Mrs. Tanker's son is in this morning's paper. Full details are in this morning. 7 wounds he had, 1 in the neck, an exit wound beneath the left shoulder blade, another in the left breast, penetrating the heart.
Cut that reading, for God's sake. You just listen on your feelings. Soon be the money you'll be reading anything that's not about butchering.
He's getting very sensitive all of a sudden. I'll read it for myself, Mary Guy and Boy, when I come home. Everyone's saying he was a die-hard. Thanks be to God, Johnny had nothing to do with him this long while. Oh, well, that father of yours will come home soon for his breakfast. He won't get any, or I'll not wait much longer for him. And he'll have to give it himself when he comes in. Oh, and let him bring in that joxer Daly along with him. That's what he'd like, and that's what he's waiting for. Till he thinks I'm gone, and then he'll sail in with that fool joxer to burn all the coal and drink all the tea in the place. No, I will stop here and wait for him if I have to wait till tomorrow morning.
Mother!
Yes?
Bring us a drink of water!
Bring that fella in a drink of water, for God's sake, Mary.
Isn't he big and able enough to come out and get it himself?
If you weren't feeling well yourself, you'd like someone to bring you in a drink of water as well. Isn't it awful to have to be waiting for him like this? You'd think he was bringing in £20 a week into the house the way he's going on. He wore out the health insurance long ago. He's after wearing out the unemployment dole, and now he's trying to wear out me. And singing constantly, no less, when he ought to be always on his knees offering up a novena for a job.
Oh, I don't like this ribbon, ma'am. Think I'll wear the green. It looks better than the blue.
Wear whatever ribbon you like, girl, only don't be bothering me about it. I don't know what a girl on strike wants to do with wearing a ribbon round her head or silk stockings on her legs for. It's the wearing them things make the employers think they're giving you too much money.
The hour is past now, and we'll be asking the employer's permission to wear what we like.
I don't know why you wanted to walk out for Jenny Claffey anyway. Till this, you didn't have a good word for the girl.
What's the use of belonging to a trade union if you won't stand up for your principles? Why did they sack her? It was a clear case of victimization. We couldn't let her walk the street, could we?
No, of course you couldn't. You wanted to keep her company. One victim wasn't enough. The employers be sacrificing 1 victim. The trade unions go 1 better, be sacrificing 100.
It doesn't matter what you say, ma'am. A principle's a principle.
Yes, and when I go to old Murphy's tomorrow, he needs to know that instead of paying off, I'm going to borrow more. What's he going to say when I tell him a principle's a principle? Suppose he refuses to give us any more, I'll take
He daren't refuse, and if he does, can't tell him he's paid.
well, it's looking as if he was paid, whether he refuses or no.
I was lying down. I thought she was gone. Old Simon, man, he is tramping around like a horse over me head, and I can't get my sleep with him. Because I have thunderclaps and I'm crying. Curse! God forgive me for going to curse mother.
There. Why don't you go and lie down again? I'll bring you in a nice cup of tea.
Tay. You're always thinking of Tay. If a man was dying in his rice, make him swallow a cup of tea. and told Father Farrell to send the captain up, and he'd give him a start. I wonder where I'd find him.
It's either in Ryan's or Foley's.
I don't know to Ryan's. I know it's a great house in Jock's house.
Oh, he'll miss that job, Ryan, know for what. If he gets wind of the word, he won't come home till the evening, so it'll be too late. I'm killing myself working, and him gallivanting around town morning and night like a Paycock.
Come on in, Jockster. She's gone out long ago, man. If there's nothing else to be got, we'll furge out a cup of tea anyway. It's the only bit I get in comfort when she's away. 'Tisn't Juno should be her pet name at all, but Deirdre the Stars, and she's always grousing.
It's a terrible thing to be tied to a woman that's always grousing. I don't know how you stick it. It put ears on me. It's a good job that she has to be so often away. But when the cat's away, the mice and play.
Run over to the fire, Doctor. We'll have a cup of tea.
A cup of tea's a darling thing. A darling thing. The cup that cheers
the fire, Dr. Daly. We'll have a cup of tea in a minute. Are you sure you wouldn't like an egg?
I can't stop Mrs. Boyle. I've been in a sweet hurry. A desperate hurry.
Put over to the fire, Dr. Daly. People is always more comfortable here than they are in their own place.
Jockster.
Yes.
You know the foreman of the job is going on down in Killester, don't you, Jockster?
Foreman Killester.
He's a body of yours, isn't he?
Oh, yes, the foreman at Killester. Oh, he's an old portly boy. Ah, he's a darling man. A darling man.
Ah, that's a sure thing. It's a pity we didn't go down to breakfast first thing this morning. We might have been working now, but you didn't know it there.
It's better late than never.
That's nearly time we got to start getting out. I'm fed up, knocking around, doing nothing. He promised me. Gave you the straight tip.
Come as a blow of dinner, says he. In that start, you and any friend you like to bring with you.
Ah, says I. You're a darling man. A darling man.
Job couldn't have come as a better time. We're a long time waiting for it.
Indeed we were, but it's the long lane that has no turning.
The blow-up for dinner is at 1. Oh, wait till I see what time it is.
Mind how you go fiddling with that clock. You know the least little thing sets it straight.
The job couldn't have come at a better time. I'm feeling in great fettle, Jockster. I hardly believe I ever had a pain in my legs, and last week I was nearly crippled with them.
That's better and better. God never shut one door but he opened another.
It's only 11 o'clock. We lash into time. I slip on my own moleskins after breakfast. We can saunter down at our age. I think, Jockster, we'd better bring our shovels.
Yes, Captain, yes. It's better to go fully prepared and ready for all eventualities. You bring me along here and shovel. I'll bring me now. We might want and then again we might. For want of the nail, the shoe is lost. For want of the shoe, the horse was lost. For want of the horse, the man was lost. Ah, that's a darling proverb. A darling.
Dr. Daly, get the hell out of this!
We won't be long pulling ourselves together again once I'm working for a few weeks. The foreman on the job is an old buddy of Johnson's. I've an idea I know myself. There's a button off the back of the moleskin trousers. If you live out in England, I sew it on myself. Thanks be to God, the pain in me legs is gone anyhow. Ryan's snug, I don't go into Ryan.
Oh, is there a mad dog there? Well, if you weren't in Ryan's, you were in Foley's.
I'm telling you, for the last 3 weeks, I haven't tasted the drop of intoxicating liquor. I wasn't either in one snug or the other. I can swear that on the prayer book. I'm as innocent as the child unborn.
Well, if you'd have been in for your breakfast, you'd have seen him.
Oh, what does he want?
He'll be back in a minute and you'll soon know.
I'll drop out and see if I can meet.
You'll sit down and take your breakfast and let me go to work, for I'm an hour late waiting for you already.
Well, your name's a wait. For I'll take no breakfast. I've a little spirit left in me still.
Are you going to take your breakfast, yes or no?
I'll take no breakfast. Yes, Kincaid, your breakfast. I'll knock out a bit somewhere. Never fear.
Well, no one's going to be coaxing you. You need to think that.
I've a little spirit left in me still.
Oh, here you are at last. I've been searching for you everywhere. The barman in Foley's told me you hadn't left the show with Johnson 10 minutes before.
And him swearing on the holy prayer book he wasn't in no snow.
What business is it of yours whether I was in a snug or not? What do you want to be galloping about after me for? Is a man not to be allowed to leave his house for a minute without having a pack of spies, pimps, and informers cantering at his heels?
Oh, you're taking a wrong view of it, Mr. Boyle. I simply was anxious to do you a good turn. I have a message for you from Father Farrell. He says that if you go to the job that's on in our minds and ask for Foreman Madigan, you'll get a start.
That's all right. But I don't want the motions of my body to be watched. The way an astronomer would watch a star. If you're going to be following after man yourself, you've no pity on him to be following after me. Ow! I'm after getting a terrible twinge in my leg.
Oh, it won't be long now till it travels over to the left one. It's miraculous. Whenever he sends a job in front of him, his legs begin to fail him. Then we buckle. If you lose this chance, you go and forage for yourself for a while.
This job will last for some time too, Captain. And as soon as the foundations are in, it'll be cushy enough.
Won't it be a climbing job? How do you expect me to be able to go up a ladder with these legs? And if I get up myself, how am I going to get down again?
Get one of the labourers to carry it down in a hod. You can't climb a ladder, but you can skip like a goat into a snug.
I wouldn't let myself get down that lazy, Mr. Boyle. A little exercise now might do you all the good in the world.
Oh, it's a doctor. You should have been divine. Maybe you know more about the pains in your legs than myself, Master.
I know nothing about their pains in your legs. I brought the message that Father Farrell gave me, and that's all I can do.
Here, sit down, take your breakfast, and go on and get ready at once. And quit acting like you couldn't pull the wing out of a dead bee.
I want no breakfast, I tell you. It'd choke me after all that's been said. I've a little spirit left in me still.
Well, let's see that spirit then. Go on in and get on them moleskin trousers.
It'd be better for a man to be there. Oh! There's another twinge in the other leg. Nobody but myself knows the suffering I go through with the pains in these legs of mine.
Got to push off now, for I'm terrible late already. But I was determined to stay and hunt that jostler.
Are you going up, Mary?
It looks like it's when I push it on me hand, doesn't it?
The bitter word again, Mary.
It won't allow me to be friendly with you. If I try, you deliberately misunderstand it.
I didn't always misunderstand it. You were often delighted with the arms of Jerry around you.
If you go on talking like this, Jerry Devine, you'll make me hate you.
Well, let it be either a wedding or a wedding. Listen, Mary. I'm standing for the secretaryship of our union. There's only one opposing me. I'm popular with all the men and a good speaker. All are saying that I get elected.
Well,
The job for £350 a year, Mary. And I could live nice and cozy on that. Would lift you out of this place.
listen, I haven't time to listen to you now. I have to go.
Mary, what's come over you with me for the last few weeks? You hardly speak to me, and then only a word with a face of bitterness on it. You've forgotten, Mary. All the happy evenings were as sweet as the scented hawthorn, sheltered the sides of the road as we saw it through the country. Never, never. No matter what happens, you will always be the same to me.
I must be off. Please let me go, Jerry.
I got the way with you.
Oh, you need things. I want to be by myself.
You're going to meet another fella. You think with someone else here.
It's no concern of yours, Jerry, to mind. Let me go.
I saw you coming out with the cornflower dance class and you hanging on his arm. A thin, lanky strip of a Mickey Dazzler. Walking, sticking gloves. What are you putting it on everything for?
Put down your all-skin trousers.
Oh, you're hurting me arm. Let me go, or I'll scream. Then we'll have the old fella out on top of us.
Don't be so hard, nothing. Mary. Don't be so hard.
What's that meaning of all this syllable?
Oh, let me go. Let me go.
Here, what's all this syllable about?
You're not just one kind word, just one kind word.
Yeah, hear me talking to you. What's all this syllable for?
Let me kiss your hand, your little tiny white hand.
Your little tiny white hand. Are you taking me expensive, man? Oh, this is nice goings on in front of the fault.
Ah, dread of God's sake.
Chiselers don't care a damn now about their parents. They're bringing their father's gray hairs down with sorrows to the grave and laughing at it. Laughing at it. Suppose it's just the same everywhere. The whole world's in a terrible state of crisis. Breakfast. And let them take their breakfast for me. Not if they went down on their bended knees would I take it from them. I'll show them I've a little spirit left in me still. Sass. Sticky capers, that. Take his witness. Break it up. When the robins festivate and the flowers are in bloom, when the springtime sun smile seems to banish all sorrow and gloom, let me body blue-eyed man, if me heart be true to them, they promise they'll come back to me when the robins nest again, when the robins nest again.
You don't happen to want the sewing machine.
No, I don't want to have a sewing machine. When the robins nest again, and the flowers they bud in bloom. That's terrible, Papa. That's a stranger. That's nobody belonging to the house.
You hear them cataphrats?
Well, Johnson, I'm not dead.
Who's that at the door? Who's that at the door? Who gave that knock to your ears, Mary? You deaf drunk or what?
Ah, the hell do I know who it is? Johnson, stick your head out of the window and see.
Maybe get the bullet in me kisser? None of them tricks or jocks. It's better to be a coward than a corpse.
It's a fella in a trench coat. Oh, God, he's going away. Must have got tired of looking. Sit down. Up a tea, dog, sir.
I'm afraid the missus will come in us before we know where we are. Something's telling me to go at once.
Don't be superstitious, man. We're Dublin men. Not boyos. It's only after coming up from the bog island. Though if she did come in right enough, we'd be caught like rats in a trap.
And you know the sort she is. She wouldn't listen to rats. And once bitten, twice shy.
If the worst came to the worst,
Well, I won't stop very long. Whose is the book?
One of Mary's. She's always read lately. Nothing but trash, too. There's one I was looking at the other day. 3 stories. The Doll's House, Ghosts, and the Wild Book. Book's only fit for chiselers.
Did you ever read Elizabeth or the Exiles like that? It's a darling story. A darling story.
You aged sausage. Never mind the exorbitant sleepy.
What are you wearing your moleskin trousers for?
I have to go to a job, Johnson. Just after you'd gone, Divine came running in to tell us that Father Farrell said if I went down to the job that's going on in Black Mines, I'd get a start.
Mahoney, that's good news.
How is that good news? I wonder, if you were in my condition, would you call it good news?
I thought...
You thought. You think too sudden sometimes, Johnson. Do you know I'm hardly able to crawl with the pains in my legs?
Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot the pains in your legs. You can do nothing while they're at you.
You forgot? I don't think any of you realize the state I'm in with the pains in my legs. What would happen if I had to carry a bag of cement?
Any man that likes of them pains would be down and out, down and out.
I wouldn't mind if he had said it to himself. But no, oh no. He rushes in and shouts it out in front of Juno. And you know what Juno would do. We all know Divine knows a little more than the rest of us. But he doesn't act as if he did. He's a good boy, sober, able to talk and all that. Still,
Oh, able to argue fine. But still,
if he's going to be running after Mary himself, he's not going to be running after me. Captain Lyle can take care of himself. After all, I'm not getting brought up on capital. I never heard of using a curse. I don't believe he's ever been drunk in his life, sure. He's not like a Christian at all.
you're taking the words right out of my mouth. For a Christian's natural, but he's unnatural.
His old fella was just the same. A Wicklow man.
Oh, that explains the whole thing. I met many a Wicklow man in my time, but I never met one that was any good.
Father Farrell, says he, sent me down to tell you. Father Farrell. You know, Johnson, I never like to be beholden to any of the clergy.
It's dangerous right enough.
If they do anything for you, they want you to be living in the chapel. I'm going to tell you something, Johnson, I wouldn't tell anybody else. The clergy always had too much power over the people of this unfortunate country.
You can sing it if you had an air to it.
They prevent the people in 47 from seizing the corn and them starving.
Yes.
Didn't they, down Parnell,
Yes.
didn't they say that hell wasn't hot enough nor eternity long enough to punish the Fenians?
Yes.
We don't forget. We don't forget these things, Johnson. If they've taken everything else from us, Johnson, they've left us our memory.
For memory is the only thread that grief can call its own. That grief call its own.
Farrell's beginning to take a great interest in Captain Boyle. Because of what Johnny did for his country, says he to me one day. It's a curious way to reward Johnny being making his poor old father work. But that's what the clergy want, Johnson. Work, work, work. For me and for you, having us mewing from morning till night so that they can be a better fellow when they come hopping round for their dues. Job! Let him give his job to one of his hymn-singing, praise-spouting, quill-thumping, hand-pretending men.
God real, sir? What it is, sir?
Them was days. Them was days, Johnson. Nothing was too hot or too heavy for me then. Sailing from the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic Ocean, I've seen things, Johnson, that no mortal man should talk about that knows his catechism. Often and often, when I was fixed to the wheel with a marling spike, and the winds blowing fierce, and the waves lashing and lashing, till you'd think every minute was going to be your last. And it blowed and blowed. Blew is the right word, Johnson, but blowed is what the sailors use.
It's a garden. A garden.
And as it blowed and blowed, I'd often look up at the sky and ask myself the question, what is the stars? What is the stars?
That's the question. That's the question. What is the stars?
And then I'd have another look, and I'd ask myself, what is the moon?
That's the question. What is the moon? What is the moon?
Do you want any blocks?
No, we don't want any bloods.
That's after putting the heart across me! I could have sworn it. I bet people and Captain, you couldn't tell the minute Juno hop in on us.
Let her hop in. We may as well have it out first as it last. I've made up my mind. I'm not going to do only what she damn well likes.
Them sentiments does you credit. I don't like to say anything as between a man and wife, but I say it as a buddy. As a buddy, Captain. You stuck it too long, and it's about time you showed a little smoke. How can a man die better than facing fearful odds, or the ashes of his fathers, and the temples of his gods?
She has her rights. There's no denying it. But haven't I any rights too?
Of course you have. The sacred rights of man.
Today, John, sir, there's going to be issued a proclamation, be made, establishing an independent republic. And Juno will have to take an oath of allegiance.
Be fair. Be firm. The first few minutes are the worst. If you gently touch a metal, it'll sting you for your legs. Grasp it like a lad of metal, and as soft as silk remains.
Can't stop it.
Holy God, he she!
I knew that fella'd stop till she was in a double.
Oh, you're in. But you must only be after coming in.
No, I never went out.
But it's curious then you didn't hear the knocking.
Knocking? Of course I heard the knocking.
But why didn't you answer the door then? Ah, you must have been so busy with jobs where you hadn't the time.
I haven't seen Joxer since I've seen him before. Joxer? What a great Joxer here.
So you mean to tell me the two yous weren't colloquing together here when your back was turned?
What do you mean colloquing together about? I have something else to pick up besides colloquing with Joxer. I could swear on all the holy prayer books.
That you weren't a no snug. Listen, go on in at once, kick off them mostly trousers, and put on the collar and tie, smarten yourself up a bit. Mary's coming with a minute with a visitor who has great news for you.
Jack, I suppose. Let us get one first, before we go looking for another.
Aye, that's the thing that's able to put the wind up you. It's no jobs, but news that'll give you the chance of your life.
What's all the mystery about?
Go on in and take off them mostly trousers with your toes.
don't put yourself to any trouble, Mrs. Boyle. I'm quite all right here. Thank you.
To think of you knowing Mary and her knowing the news you had for us and not letting on, but it's all well from her now. We were really on our last lap.
Where you know what I'm rapping for?
I'm taking off the moleskin trousers.
Can you go down there in the whole house while you take off your trousers? Tell you what, taking them off with your money again.
Will you let me alone? Will you let me alone? Come on, now we're gonna be done trying to please the Hollywood.
You'll have to excuse the state of the place, Mr. Randall. Whenever my back returns, that man of mine makes a litter of the place. A litter of the place.
Don't worry, Mrs. Boyle. It's all right. I assure you.
Well, earthly graces. Well, in the name of God, and earthly graces. Hey! Did you say what an earthly graces?
Dear, 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 that man of mine will be looking for something on the day of judgment. Look at your braces now, hanging around your neck.
Oh, you're on.
Oh, we're going here and take that away. That's crazy, man.
Johnny, come out here for just a minute.
Leave Johnny alone. I'll wait nice.
Come out here so I can introduce you to Mr. Bentham. My son, Mr. Bentham, is after going through the mill. He was only a chiseler of a Boy Scout in Easter week and got hit in the hip. And then he blew off his arm in the fight in O'Connell Street. Oh, here he is, Mr. Bentham. Mr. Bentham, Johnny. None can deny he's done his bit for Ireland, if that'll do him any good.
I'll do it again, Mom. I'll do it again. But principle's a principle.
Ah, my boy, you lost your best principle when you lost your arm. Them's the only sort of principles that's any good to a working man.
Ireland only half free, never be at peace till she has a son left to pull the trigger.
To be sure, to be sure. No bread is far better than half a loaf. Will you hurry up? Ah, here is my husband, Mr. Boyle, Mr. Bentham.
Very glad to know you, Mr. Boyle. How are you?
I'm not too well at all. I suffer terrible with pains in my leg. No,
You won't have any pain in your legs, Jack, when you hear what Mr. Bentham has to say.
Juno? Oh, what an interesting name. It reminds one of Homer's glorious stories of ancient gods and heroes.
Yes, doesn't it? See, Juno was born and christened in June. I met her in June. We were married in June. Johnny was born in June. So one day I says to her, "You should have been called Juno." And the name stuck to her ever since.
We can talk about all that again, but let Mr. Bentham say what he has to say first.
Well now, Mr. Boyle, I suppose you'll remember a Mr. Ellison of Santry? Well, he's a relative of yours, I think.
Is it that prognosticator and procrastinator? Of course, I remember him.
Well, he's dead, Mr. Boyle.
Sorrow many will go into mourning for.
Jack, you may change your opinion when you hear what Mr. Bentham has to say to you.
A week before he died, he sent for me to write his will for him. He told me that there were two only that he wished to leave his property to. His second cousin, might have been again of Santry, and John Boyle, his first cousin of Dublin.
I mean, is it me?
You, Mr. Boyle. I have a copy of the will here with me that I'll read, which has been duly filed in the card to prove it. 6th February, 1922. This is the last will and testament of William Ellison of Santry in the county of Dublin. I hereby order and wish my property to be sold and divided as follows. £20 to the St. Vincent de Paul Society. £60 for masses for the repose of my soul, and 5 shillings for each mass. The rest of my property to be divided between my first and second cousins. I hereby appoint Timothy Buckley of Santry and Hugh Brierly of Coolock to be my executors. Signed, William Ellison, Hugh Brierly, Timothy Buckley, Charles Benton, and
How much will be coming out of it, Mr. Benton?
oh, the executors told me that half of the property would be anything between £1,500 and £2,000.
to die so sudden, but we all have to die someday. You, Juno, today. And me, maybe tomorrow. It's sad, but it can't be helped. Requiescat in Patrick, or using the overtone, like St. Patrick and St. Bridget. Gos Heyer, J-R-A-L.
Father, let's not rest in peace. Let's God save Ireland.
It's all the same, isn't it a prayer?
Huh?
Juno, I'm done with Joxer. He's nothing but a prognosticator.
Can it done with Joxer? Maybe you thought I'd stop on the roof all the night for you. Joxer out on the roof, the wind blowing through was nothing to you and your friend in the carpet.
What in God's name brought you out on the roof? What were you doing out there?
I was dreaming I was stepping on the bridge of a ship, and the wind was blowing and blowing, and I'm sailing in the Antarctic Ocean, and it blowed and blowed, and I was looking up at the stars and saying, what is the stars? What is the stars?
Dr. Davy, get out of this! I always thought you had a slate off.
I have to laugh every time I look at the deep sea sky. When a roll of a ribbon make him seasick.
Get out of this before we take the load to the old man.
Say au revoir, but not goodbye. Looking for work and praying to God he won't get it.
I'm tired of telling you what Joxer is. Maybe now you'll see for yourself what he is.
He'll never blow the froth of a pint of wine again. That's a sure thing. Johnny, Mary,
Yes, sir.
you are to keep yourselves to yourselves for the future. You know, I'm done with Johnson. I'm a new man from this up. Oh, me darling Juno, I will be true to thee. Me, oh, me darling Juno, you're all the world to me. All that's ever is a man of the people. As far as I know the history of the country, the priest was always in the land of the fight for Ireland's freedom.
Was it meant to that? So we don't know. Since the fight first began, so we don't know.
Who are you telling? Says he. Didn't they do in the field? And didn't they let down partner? And now, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, says I, interrupted him. Not to know the history of your country. And I left him gagging when it was.
Where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise. I wonder to leave a red story of Ireland.
John L. Sewell. That's American.
It's a darling book, a darling book.
Well, I need better be going now, Doctor. His Majesty, then will be here any minute now.
In the way things are looking, it'll be a match between him and Mary. She's thrown over Jelly altogether. Well, I hope so, for he's a darling man.
I'm glad you think so. I know. What's darling about
You only seen him twice, but if you want to know, we can't live with him.
it? He's too dignified for me. To hear him talk, you'd think he knew as much as Nostradamus. Even on his job as teacher, he's going to become a solicitor in Dublin. He's studying law. I suppose he thinks I set him up, but he's wrong shit. And the other fellow, Jelly's as bad. The two of them will give you a pain in your face listening to them. Jelly believing in nothing, and Bentham believing in everything. One that says all is God and no man, and the other the gramophone once, he's dead silent.
Father, Jerry says the same. After all, you can only appreciate music when your ear is properly trained.
That's another fella give you a pain in your face. Properly trained. I suppose you couldn't appreciate football unless your foot was properly trained.
One in or that and rest. Charlie being on this table, nothing will be ready. You have a look on your gramophone, Johnny?
Gramophones I'm thinking of.
What are you thinking of, man?
Nothing. Nothing.
Sure, you must be thinking of something. It's yourself and pat yourself the way you are. Sleeping one night with your sisters and the next to your father's brothers. Sure, you're not going to get the rest that way.
Rest nowhere. Nowhere.
Sure, you're not trying to rest anywhere.
Let me alone. Let me alone, for God's sake.
Oh, he's here. Baptiste here.
Well, there's room for him. It's a pity there isn't a brass band playing in.
We'll have a tay round and not be clustered round the table like we've never seen nothing. Hand your hand and stick to Jack there. No. Come on in and sit down. Oh, not there. Over here by the fire. This chair's far better than that. Mary will be in just a second.
I seen me the paper this morning that the government bonds down 0.5%. And that said, it shows the whole country is in a state of charge.
What's government bonds, Jack?
Government bonds is there's no use telling women what government bonds are.
Well, it's just as you were saying, Mr. Boyle. Oh, good evening, Mary. Oh, pretty you're looking.
Am I?
We were just talking when you came in there. I was telling Mr. Bentham that the whole country is in a state of crisis.
Would you prefer the green or the blue ribbon around the hair chart? Your father speaking, Mary.
I was telling Mr. Bentham that the whole country is in a state of crisis.
I'm sure you're fretting down, whether it is or no. With all our churches and religions, the world is not a bit the better.
Hey,
I thought, when we got to the making of our own laws, that we would never stop to look behind us. But instead, we've never stopped to look before us. People who body up their religion better, there'd be a better chance for all of us. What do you think, Mr. Benton?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't venture to express an opinion on that point, Mrs. Boyle. Dogma has no attraction for me.
I forgot you didn't go with us. What's that you said you were again?
A theosophist, Mrs. Boyle.
What in the name of God is a theosophist?
a theosophist, Juno, sir. Tell us, Mr. Bentham, tell us.
Well, it's hard to explain in a few words. Theosophy is founded on Paycock's religious books of ages. Its central theme is the existence of an all-pervading spirit, the life breath. Nothing really exists but this one universal life breath. And whatever even seems to exist separate from this life breath doesn't really exist at all. It is all vital force in man, in all animals, and in all vegetation. This life breath is called the prana.
Rana? Oh, what a comical name!
Prana, yes, prana. That's prana.
Swiss Jack.
The happiness of man depends upon his sympathy with this spirit. Men who have achieved a high state of excellence are called yogi. Now, some men may become yogi in a short time, but it may take others millions of years.
A yogi. I've seen hundreds of them in the streets of San Francisco.
It is said by these yogi that if we practice certain mental exercises, that we will have powers to join to others. For instance, the faculty has seen things that happen miles and miles away.
I do not care to any of those beliefs.
Couldn't get anyone to believe it. But religions is passing away. They've had their day like everything else. Take the rare Dublin people, for instance. They know more about Charlie Chaplin and Valentino than they do of SS Payccck and Paul.
You don't believe in ghosts, Mr. Edmund? Don't you know he doesn't, Mother?
Well, I don't know that, Mary. Scientists are beginning to think that what we call ghosts are sometimes seen by persons of a certain nature. They say that sensational actions, such as the killing of a person, demand great energy, and that energy lingers in the place where the action occurred. Now, people may live in the place and see nothing, when someone may come along whose personality has some peculiar connection with the energy of the events. And in a flash, the person sees the whole affair.
What sort of talk is this to be going on with? Is it nothing better than to be talking about the killing of people? My God, isn't it bad enough for these things to happen without having to talk about them?
I'm very sorry, Mrs.
No,
Boyle. Why didn't you?
Mr. Edmund. He's very touchy.
Ah!
Mother of God!
Shut the door! Shut the door, Mother! Oh, shelter me! Shelter your son!
What's wrong? What ails you here? Sit down. Sit down. There, Johnny. What ails you? Oh, get a glass of whiskey. Quick, man, don't stand there talking.
Sit here. Sit here.
I'll sit here as long as you like. Only tell me what one came across your own. Sit back.
I see you. I see you, Robbie Tiger, kneeling down before the statue, and the red light shining on him. When I went in, he turned, and he looked at me. Oh, why did he look at me like that? It wasn't my fault he was done in. Oh, Mother, oh God, keep him away from me.
There, the sun wasn't at all. There was nothing there at all. It was all in your own head, it was. It was the red light you seen. And it was the talking where they put the rest of it in your head. Here, have some more of this. Have some more. To do you good. Here. Go on and stretch out from the bed for a little while. Jack, go on in and tell him he's all in his own head was.
That's all nonsense. It was only a shadow he saw.
Mother, God, I gave you a heart.
It was simply due to an overwrought imagination. And we all get that way sometimes.
Here you go. Lie down. I'll pull the wings up over. You'll be right as the mail in a few minutes.
Mother, room and see if the light's lighted for the statue.
Jack, go on in and see if the light's lighting before the statue.
Mary, slip in and see if the light's lighting before the statue.
It's all right, Mary. I'll go. Oh, everything's just as it was. The light burning bravely before the statue.
Of course. I knew it was all nonsense. Come on, hello. Come on in, Mrs. Patrick. Come on in. I was afraid of her. Come in. There's some people able to dress, John.
Fresh as the blossoms that bloom in the May, and sweet as the scent as the new mown hay. Well, she may well.
I know some that are sweet as the blossoms that bloom in the May. I know it. No Patrick.
And now, I'd like to introduce the various ladies intended. Mr. Bentham. This is Mrs. Madigan, an old back party neighbor that if she could help it, I'll never see a body show.
Oh, I'm sure. It's very glad to know you, Mrs. Madigan.
I'm going to tell you, Mr. Benton, you're going to get as nice a bit of skirt and Mary there as ever you've seen in your life. Like some of those dressed up dolls looking for men with a scalp and they want. I remember, as well as I remember yesterday, the day she was born, of a Tuesday, 25th of June in the year 1901 at 33 minutes past 1 in the day before his clock. And that's the public part of this. Oh, it was too. For the says of the year. And I remember saying to Johnson there, who I met coming up the stairs, new arrival at Boyles and grew up a hardy chisler, if it lived. That she'd be something one of these days that nobody suspected. And so here she is today, going to be married to a young man, looking as if he'd be fit to commensurate in any position in life without these garden calls.
Sit down, Mrs. Madigan, sit down, the old sport. And this is Johnson Lady, past chief ranger of the Daily Shamrock branch of the Irish National Foresters, an old front of there that never despaired even in the darkest days of Ireland's sun.
Neil Desperado, Captain. Neil Desperado.
Sit down, sir. Sit down. The two of us was often in a tight corner.
Aye, in Ryan was a snub.
We came out of the fly, Captain.
And now for a drink. Though you won't refuse an old friend.
Is Johnny not well?
Well, Mrs. Madigan, is it tea or what?
Well, speaking for myself, I had tea a minute ago, and I'm afraid to drink anymore. I'm never the same when I've had too much tea. That's all the stuff, Mr. Boyle.
Ah, well, what about a bottle of stout or whiskey?
A bottle of stout to be a little too heavy, or Mr. Look after me tea. I'll try them all. There's nothing like a bottle of malt. Occasional, like too much of it is not good. And God, Jack, tell me what you want to Now you'll be leaving this place.
I'm looking for a place near the sea. I'd like the place that you might say was me cradle, to be me grave as well. And the sea is always calling me.
She's calling. With the wind and on the sea.
Another grub of whiskey, Mrs. Madigan.
Well, now it'd be hard to refuse seeing the suspicious times.
Yes. And now, so.
Oh, yes.
Juno, Mary, home to our lovers.
Darling song, it's a darling song.
No, Dad, I'm not listening in humor.
Oh, go on with your child. And you that a bar's hole was strictly non-political. And I was singing, you'll remember me. Oh, with the top notes a quivering in a dead rush of petrified attention, followed by a clapping of hands that shook the tumblers off the table, and Papa Kim's in Barbara say this was the best rendering of you'll remember me ever heard in his natural.
The whole thing is terrible, Mrs. Miles. But the only way to deal with a mad dog is to destroy it.
I think that we forget that they were bringing the body to the church tonight and us singing and all. It was when we had the ramble going anyhow.
Hey, then if we had us, we'd nothing to do with these things, one way or another. That's the government business. Let them do what we're paying them for doing.
I don't know how a body is not to mind these things. Look at the way they're leaving everyone in this house. Hasn't the whole house nearly been massacred? There's young Dorothy's son with his leg off. Mrs. Travers, whose son was blew up via mine in Chigila in County Cork. Mrs. Manning, whose son was lost in the ambush a few weeks back, and now poor Mrs. Tackard's only child's gone west with his body being colander of. Sure, if it's not our business, I don't know whose business it is.
There, that's enough about that business. They don't affect us and we need to give a damn. They want to wait, well let them have a wait. I know I was a sailor. I always was resigned to a watery grave. They want to be soldiers. I used to swear it when they made to the soldier's fate.
As the life of soldiers fall, rest the span into the wall.
Well, in one way, she deserves all she got. For lately, she's let the diehards make an open house for things. For the last few months, either at the rising of the sun or the setting, you had CID men bursting in on you. You were wondering where you were born, where you were christened, where you were married, and where you were going to be buried.
For God's sake, let us know where I was talking.
What about Mr. Miles' song before we start?
Mothers, Charlie and I are going out on a stroll. All right, darling.
We won't be long away, Mrs. Miles.
Go on, Captain, go on.
I'd love to have a few more jars in me before I was confederate for singing.
Give us that poem you wrote the other day. It's a darling poem. A darling poem.
God, let us. He started to write poetry.
Charmingly good friend. To me, he was all in all. His water was very heavy. His wages were very small. None better on the beach as Dr. Iron Bale, which is now unfairly known, but today he lies in jail. He was not what some call pious, seldom in church or prayer. Or the greatest scoundrels I know, sir, goes every Sunday there. Fond of his pint, the rock, but head to the boss by tree. But never refused a copper to comfort a pal in need.
It's a darling poem.
The gramophone on tonight, for ours you've not.
Go on, Jack. Put on a record. Put on a record.
Go on, Captain.
Well, you want to keep a dead silence.
If you're Irish, come to the parlor. There's a welcome there for you. And if you're ladies, check your hat. So as you are formal, there's a welcome on the net. If you come from Baltimore, like your heart is.
He's going to have that thing in Poland, and a few for Mrs. Talmadge's son, passed in the house. Knowing there's ever respect for the Irish people, national regard for the dead.
Maybe Neil Nugent, it's about time we had a little less respect for the dead and a little more regard for the living.
We don't want you, Mr. Nugent, to teach us what we learned in animalism. You don't look yourself as though you were dying a grave. Last May's Madigan, I'd say, were a real, true, die-hard, lip-soft Republican. Attended Republican tours a day and stuck in a half the neck in his suits by the civic guards.
Here's the hearse. Here's the hearse.
There's a cold mother walking behind the coffin.
Oh, you hardly see the coffin more than
It's a darling funeral. A darling funeral.
we'll have a better view from the street.
Yes, this place will give you a great picture, eh?
might be able to know something about David Gay Ben, where Commandant Payccck or something.
I'm not going. I know nothing about time.
You better go for your own sake. Remember your oath?
Not going. I've done enough for Ireland. I lost my arm and my hips been destroyed that I'll never be able to walk right again. Good God, I've not done enough for Ireland.
Boyle, no man can do enough for Ireland.
popping off to the doctor instead of Mary, the way I feel.
There's sorrow in you. You were in a nice way last night, coming in a frog's march dead to the world. If this is the way you go on when we get the money, it'll be the grave for you, an asylum for me, and the poorhouse for Johnny.
I thought you were going.
This is what is wrong with you. You can't bear to be spoken to you, to be spoken to by anyone. Knowing the way we are, up to our ears in debt, you think you'd be able to get out and go to the solicitors and ask if we could have a little of the money even.
I can't be going out there like cool in morning, can I? He can't give the money till he gets it, can he? I can't get blood out of a target, can I?
It's nearly 2 months since we heard about the will, and the money seems as far off as ever. I suppose you know we owe £20 to old Murphy?
I'm a face recollection, you're telling me that before.
Well, it's you'll go in for the things in the future. I'll not face him.
I thought you said you were going.
I'm going now.
Hey, Juno, hey.
What do you want now?
Is there a bottle of stout left?
There's 2 of them here still.
Show us in one of them, and we put it there until I get it. And throw it in the paper that's on the table and the bottle of slow lemon that's in the bar.
What paper do you want? Catholic Herald?
The news of the world.
Mind the candle and don't burn the place down over our heads. I left the other bottle of stout on the table. Come on, there we go.
I pass home, and fly remote, on the there only all I can. Paycock, they must be all out. I was thinking there was something up, but he didn't answer the signal. He seen Juno and Mary going, but I didn't see him. And it's very seldom he escapes me.
Well, you're not going to escape me. You're not going to be let go to the fair hall.
Sure, the house couldn't hold him lately. And the way he's been going about like a masterpiece of a free state country. Forgetting their friends. Forgetting God. Wouldn't even lift his hat passing a chapel. Sure, they were bound to get a drop. And you really think there's no money coming to him after all?
Not as much as they were in the place. I was a bit anxious I don't be money for some time. Then I went up to the solicitor. He told me they were going to throw me downstairs. He told me the old cop himself had thrown the stairs away. Not really feeling about what he did, but not maybe a make, not even a make.
I thought there was something curious about the whole thing. I've been having strange dreams the last couple of weeks, and I noticed that Bentham fellow doesn't be coming here now. Well, there must be something on the map there too. Anyway, who in the name of God would be anything to that old bum? Sure, it'd be unnatural. And the way Juno and him been throwing their weight about the last few months. And it goes a borrowing, goes a sorrow.
The room is only very well understood. I seven hours on the road, or in the bush these days.
There isn't hardly a neighbor in the whole street that hasn't been on the strength of what he was going to get. But they're after backing the wrong horse. Wasn't it the mercy of God I had nothing
to stir yourself, Mr. Boyle. I hope you're not sick.
The old egg, Mr. Nugent, the old egg.
I just came over to see if you could let me have anything off the soup.
How much is this again?
The same as it was at the start, £7.
I'm glad you found it. I want a good heavy topper. Irish rice in the yard. Now, how much would a topper like that be now?
£6.
6 pounds. 6 and 7. 6 and 7 is 13. That'll be £13, I'll owe you.
You're not only £13. Maybe you think you've been able to horse, but to pay it.
Here, come back the hell out of that. Where are you going with your clothes of mine?
Where am I going? Where's it going? Oh, like your damn cheek.
Hey, what am I going to dress myself in when I'm going out?
What do I care what you're going to dress yourself up in? You can put yourself in a powder cover if you like.
What could he dress himself in? Gentleman Jack in his prize coat.
Nugent! Mr. Nugent! Mr. Nugent! Mr. Nugent! Mr. Nugent!
What's up? What's wrong, Captain?
Nugent's been there and he took away his suit. The only things I had to go out.
Took your suit. For God's sake, what will you do if my head is taken?
I was in bed when he stole it like a thief in the night, and before I knew what he was thinking of, he whipped it from the chair and was off like a witch.
What in the name of God did he do that for?
What did he do it for? Ah, hell do I know what he done it for. Jealousy and spite, I suppose.
Did he not say what he'd done it for?
Haven't I after telling you that he had whipped up and was gone before I could open him out?
It's a very sudden thing to do. There must be something behind it. Did he have anything?
Did he have anything? You talk very clear, Doctor. What could he have?
About you not getting the money in one way or the other.
And what to prevent me from getting the money?
That's what I was thinking. What would prevent you from getting the money? Nothing as far as I can see.
Ah, holy God!
What's up, Jack?
He must have after the bottle of stout that Juno left on the table.
Ah, no! Ah, no, he wouldn't be after doing that now.
Who done it then? Juno left the bottle of stout here and it's gone. It did it what? Did it?
Oh, that shook. Man's in the man, teach a man. Makes countless thousands more.
I hope I'm not disturbing you in any discussion on your forthcoming legacy, if I may use the word, or that you'll let me have a Barney with you for a minute or two, Mr. Boyle.
Be sure, Mrs. Madigan, an old friend's always welcome.
Come in the evening. Come in the morning. Come when you're asked. Come without warning, Mrs.
Sit down, Mrs. Madigan.
The few words I have to say
don't think Maisie now is that sort of woman. She either had something, or she must have heard something.
Heard something? About what? If it's not any harm to ask.
She must have heard something or other that you are going to get the money.
And who says I'm not going to get the money?
So I don't know. I'm only saying.
Only saying what?
Nothing.
You were going to say something. Don't be a twister.
Who's a twister?
Why don't you speak your mind then?
You never twisted yourself. No, you wouldn't know how.
Did you ever know me to twist? Did you ever know me to twist?
Did you ever do anything else? You can't believe a word that comes out of your mouth.
Get out of this! I gotta raise you for a prognosticator and a procrastinator.
The anchors weigh. Farewell. Remember me, Jackie Boyer, Esquire. Infernal rogue and damn lawyer. You were Doc's Radley. You got a little respect for yourself, not be making a show of us all.
Are you gonna lecture me now?
It's more than right for the doctor, you married.
Well, what did the doctor say about marriage?
Sit down there, Jack. I've something to say to you about Mary.
About Mary?
Sit down there.
More trouble than I'm in it back, is it? Eh? What is it?
It's about Mary.
Well, what about Mary? Nothing wrong with her, is there?
I'm sorry to say there's a great deal wrong with her.
Great or wrong? There's Johnny, now Mary. The whole house could become an hospital.
Isn't consumption, is it?
No, it's not consumption. It's worse.
Worse? We'll have to get her somewhere over this. There's no one here to find her.
We don't have to mind her now. We might go out here this now at another time, Johnny. Do you know what the doctor said to me about Mary, Jack?
How would I know? I wasn't there, was I?
He told me to get her married at once.
Married? Once? Why did he say it like that?
Because Mary's going to have a baby in a little while.
Going to have a baby? My God, what will Bentham say when he hears that?
Are you so blind, man? He can't see it's Bentham done this wrong to her.
And he'll marry her. He'll have to marry her.
Don't you know he's gone to England and God knows where he is?
I'll follow him and bring him back and make him do her justice. The scoundrel! I should have known what he was with his yogis and his brawler.
We just need to keep this quiet until we can figure out what to do.
Isn't this a nice thing to come in on top of me in the state highway? A pretty show I make to Johnson tonight, all one night. I will tell you after going through enough of that, and I go through this.
What you and I would have to go through is nothing compared to what poor Mary would have to go through. For you and me is middling old and most of our years is spent. But Mary would have maybe 40 years to face and handle, and every one of them tainted with a bitter memory.
Where is she? Where is she till I tell her what I'm telling you? When I'm done with her, she'll be a sorry girl.
I left her and me sisters until I could speak to you. You'll say nothing to her, Jack. Ever since she left school, she's earned her living. And your fatherly care never troubled the poor girl.
Go on. Take her part again, her father. But I'll you see whether I say nothing to her, or no, her and her ring. There's no other blasted nonsense that has the house falling down on top of us. What is the likes of her? Born in the tenement house. What was ring? Her ring bringing her to a nice patch. Oh, it's maddening, maddening, maddening.
Jack, you say nothing to her or she'll leave the place.
Leave the place? I should leave the place. And quick, too.
If Mary goes, I'll go with her.
Go. Go. The parents. I lived before I see years, and I can live after years. He's gone. Oh, this is a nice thing to come rolling in on top of me after all your praying to St. Anne and the little flower. She's a child of Mary, too. I wonder what the monks will think of her now. It'll be bellows all over the district before you can say Jack Robinson, and wherever I'm gone and seen, they'll whisper. That's the father of Mary Brown. That had the kid with the swank she used to go with. You know. Be sure of it. Oh, God, to be with myself.
She should be driven out the house she's brought disgrace on.
Hush, Johnny. Needn't to be bellows all over the place. We only need to live here quietly and go somewhere where we're not known, and no one will be the wiser.
Yeah, talking like a 2-year-old woman. Well, we get a place out of this. Places aren't that easily got.
When we get the money, Jack.
Money? What money?
My own Ellison's money, of course.
There's no money coming from all Ellison or anyone else. Since you heard of one trouble, you might as well hear of another. There's no money coming to us at all. The will's a washout.
What are you saying, Matt? No money.
How could it be a washout?
The boyo that's after doing it to Mary, they done it to me as well. The thick made out the will wrong. He said in the will over me, first cousin and second cousin, instead of mentioning our names. And now anyone who thinks he's a first cousin or a second cousin to all Ellison can claim the money as well as me. And they're springing up in the hundreds and coming from America and Australia. I'm thinking to get their whack out of it. All the time the lawyers is gobbling it up. So there's not as much as to buy a stocking for your lovely daughter's cat.
Don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Why didn't you say anything about this
You
before?
can't be serious, man. You're not serious.
I'm telling you, the scholar Benton made a banjacks in a will. Instead of writing, the rest of the property could be divided between me first cousin, Jack Boyle, and me second cousin, McFinney, a Santry. He ring down on me first and second cousin. And the world and his wife is after the property now.
Well, I know why Benton left Mary in the lurch. It's all clear to me now. Oh, is there not a million honest man left in this world?
And you let us run into debt. And you borrowed money so you could fill yourself with me. And now you tell us the whole thing's a washout. Why, if it's true, I'm done with you. For your worst of me, sister Mary.
You hold your tongue, you hear? I'll not take any bit from you. Go and get Ben from you want any satisfaction for all that's after happened.
I won't hold me tongue. I won't hold me tongue. I'll tell you what I think of you. Father-in-law as you are. I'll not be quiet. I'll not be quiet. Oh, he's a nice father, isn't he? It's a wonder Mary went astray.
For my sake, for your mother's sake.
I'm going out now to have a few drinks with the last few mates I have. And tell that lassie of yours not to be here when I get back. For if I lay me eyes on her, I'll lay me hands on her. And if I lay me hands on her, I won't be accountable for the action.
Be careful, someone doesn't lay his hand on you.
Johnny,
You
Johnny!
Oh, a nice son. And a nicer daughter I have. Joxer! Hey, Joxer! Are you there?
I'm here, Morihama, my friend.
I'm gone down to Folds. You coming?
Come with me. With that sweet call, my heart is stirred. I'm only waiting for the word. like a bird.
Well, nice sister and a nice father. There's no bits in it. I wish to God a bullet were above him. Whip me over this long ago. Not one of you have any thought for me.
You don't wish, Johnny. I am going to lose my mind. Who has kept this home together for the past few years? Only me. And who's going to bear the biggest part of this trouble but me? But whining and whinging isn't going to do any good.
Oh, you're to blame for the cradle of it. Giving it his own way and everything, that a father and a check of what he's done. Why didn't you have the money? Why?
We've been sent up in the management to hear about her Albanian furniture company, Mrs. Boyle, to take back the furniture that was got a while ago.
You will touch nothing, and I know who you are.
Here's the order, ma'am. 1 chest of drawers, 1 table, 1 easy, and 3 ordinary chairs. 1 Chesterfield sofa, and 3 vases. Come on, dear, it's knocking off time already.
Mother, put down the phone, he's a big father back, but we left it on a stick.
You heard what he said when he left. It won't do any good.
But you try, he ought to be with the life that's going on.
But Mother, I met 2 men carrying a sofa, and everybody's talking about us not getting the money after all. Everything's gone wrong, Mary. Everything. We're not getting a penny out of you. Not a penny. I'll explain all when I get back and going for your father.
Oh, it's a wonder you're not ashamed to show your face here after what's happened.
Mary, I'm going to speak to you for a few moments. May I? Your mother has told me everything, Mary. I've come to you. I've come to tell you, Mary, my love for you is greater and deeper than ever.
All that is over now, Jerry. Anything like that is impossible now.
Impossible? Why do you talk like that, Mary?
After all that has happened,
What does it matter what has happened? We are young enough to be able to forget all those things. Mary, I am pleading for your love. With labor, Mary, humanity is above everything. We are the leaders in the fight for a new life. I want to forget Bilton. I want to forget that you left me. Even for a while.
You haven't meant a word of scorn for me after all.
Scorn? I love you. Love you. Even though you threw me over for another man, even though you gave me many a bitter word.
Yes, I know. But you love me, even though I'm going to hell. Oh. I was thinking too. You don't know everything.
Surely to God you don't mean that.
God, Mary, you fall as low as that?
Yes, as you say, I have fallen as low as that.
I didn't mean it that way, Mary. It came on me so sudden that I didn't mind what I was saying. I never expected this. Your mother never told me. I'm sorry, God knows I'm sorry for you, Mary.
Just say no more, Jerry. I don't blame you for thinking that it's terrible. I suppose it is. Everybody could be saying it's just as I expected.
do anything for you, Mary. I will.
Do you remember, Jerry, the verses that you read when you gave the lecture in the socialist room some time ago on humanity's strength with nature?
The verses? No, I don't remember them.
I do. They're written in my head now. And we felt the power that fashioned all the lovely things we saw, that created all the murmur and everlasting love. It was a hand of force and beauty, with an eagle's tear and claw. Then we saw our world of beauty was an ugly thing as well. The hymn divine whose chorus was an agonizing yell, like the story of a demon that an angel had to tell. Like a glowing picture by a hand unsteady brought to ruin. Like our craters, if their deadness could give life unto the moon. Like the agonizing horror of a violin up to the tune.
Is he gone?
Yes.
We can't wait any longer for the old fellow. Sorry, miss, but we need to live as well as the next man.
Oh, isn't this terrible? I suppose you told them everything. Couldn't you wait a few days? You would have stopped and taken their things, or you'd be burning his honor one of the shady you brought to us.
This is unbearable.
We'll take the chest of drawers next, it's the heaviest.
Mother of God, the lights have been going out!
Put the wind up me either way all that time. The oil's gone out, that's all.
Mother of God, I'm feeling a pain in my breast, like the tearing of a bullet.
What's wrong with you, man? Is it a picture taken?
It's a shot I'm out to get.
He's gone, man. It's a wonder they leave a chap like that here by himself.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Quick!
Remove furniture, it's not paid for.
Turn around, put your face into the wall, quick. Come on, John Boyle, you're wanted. Some of us have a word to say to you.
Because I'm not well. What do you want with me?
Come on. Come on, we've a distance to go and haven't much time. Come on!
I'm an old comrade. You should know comrade.
Poor Tanker was an old comrade of yours, but you didn't think of that when you gave him away to the gang that sent him to his grave. But we've no time to lose. Come on.
No, please. No.
Have you any beads?
Oh, my beads. My beads. Why do you ask me that? Why do you ask me that?
March!
Look at me arm, man. That's the friar.
Come on, Tanker lost his life, Briar.
Oh, sacred heart of Jesus. Have
single solitary tang left, and all that I borrowed. The last of the Mohicans. The blinds is down, Johnson. The blinds is down. The country would have to steady itself. It's gone to hell. Where are all the chairs gone? Chairs will have to steady themselves. Steady themselves. No matter what anyone wishes. Iron and silver is iron and free.
Chains and slavery. That's a dark model. A dark.
If the worst came to the worst, Johnson, I could join a flying column. I done me bit journey survey. Had no business to be there. But Captain Boyle is Captain Boyle.
Breathe the man whose soul so dead, who never to himself had said, this is me own native land.
Commandant Kelly died in them arms, Doctor. Now me volunteer buddy, said he, that I died for iron.
Did you ever lay Willie Riley's old common It's a darling story. A darling story.
I'm telling you, John.